Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. What part are we on now? I believe we're on part 4. Part 4, National Yamaha YFZ450 build 3.0. We're gonna get a couple more things done today, guys. We got some more parts in. We got our radiator shroud. We got our wire harness. Huge thanks to Jimmy Bortz for that. We got our tether switch. This was also from Jimmy Bortz. Custom start button. So we may do the harness today, but first things first, we're gonna get the radiator done, get that shroud on, get our little pieces into here, bolt that up, get the hoses in, get that in there, right in there. So we'll get that done. We got our hoses. So I think we'll do that first, and then I think we will work on the wire harness. We may do some bearings in the swing arm, and maybe the linkage. Maybe we'll do that, but we'll see how we got for time. Try to keep this one a little shorter. I know that last video was right around an hour, so I'll try to keep it a little shorter than that, unless we'll just see. I'm just gonna keep going, and we'll see where we end up. So let's get this radiator done, guys. Here we go, guys. Here we go. We get our rubber grommets in first, get all these in, then we'll put the shroud in. You guys probably remember on my build last year I did those custom radiator guards on the shroud. I don't think I'm going to do that this year. I may do it at a later time, but I want to get this thing in. I never ended up ordering those shrouds, so I'm not even going to bother. I think mostly they kind of just make the quad look cool. They do deflect the mud a little bit, but it's not like a must-have thing. So we may just do that later. We obviously got plenty of time, so if I want to grab those, we can get them. Put our things in here like that. And then we can get the shroud on. The shroud is pretty simple. Basically, you just line the bottom up. You can see you got these 3 little spots on the bottom. They kind of lock into these little 3 pieces there. And then you just pop this little guy on the hole right there, and that locks it all in. Just like so. And then it also has these 2 little clips. You can see right there. That clips into right there and right there. Pretty simple. Nice brand new radiator shroud. Oversized fan. I don't think we'll have any issues keeping cool in 2021. This has always been a solid setup, and I know some of you may ask, I have ran oversized radiators in the past, and they definitely help. I mean, extra capacity is always a good thing, but those radiators take a real beating, and I've never been able to get more than a season out of one, which kind of stinks. You pay all that money, so it's definitely crappy when you got to throw it out at the end of the year and buy a new one. So I kind of stopped getting those, and I just run the oversized fan. That seems to do the trick. The oversized fan with engine ice. I know a lot of guys like the Evans. I personally like the engine ice better. That's just me. You guys can run whatever you like. Well, this is a solid setup, so let's get this on the quad now, guys. Alright, so this is pretty simple. You just slide it in there, kind of on an angle, and then you can just straighten it out where the 2 upper bolts go, and then that'll give you the clearance to slide it right in, like that. Grab your top bolts first, put them in loosely. You can actually do the bottom too, since this is right in there, nice. Starting to look like something, guys. It's starting to look like something. Actually, I may want to put the wire harness in first, because this is going to kind of be in my way. So I'm gonna lay the wire harness in place, and we'll make the connections up after. So I'll give you guys a quick look of this harness. Jimmy Bortz is the man. So he now custom builds these. He used to buy these stock ones brand new and then cut them, eliminate everything that you wanted out and add anything that you wanted in. But now he builds these from scratch, guys, which is pretty amazing. This coating he uses, this stuff is like super strong. I had this on the build last year, and this stuff is really hard to rub through, but he does a really good job, guys. Really good job. You can see all those holes. That's all the wires that were eliminated. See them all? So we do not run, so basically we run just the essentials to keep this quad running, but I do run the fan relay. He can eliminate that so the fan runs hot, which that's personal preference. I like to have the fan run like it normally should, so it comes on and off when the when the temperature is too high and that. So I keep the neutral light, which he can eliminate all the dash lights. That's just my personal preference. I keep all the idiot lights. I keep the neutral light, I keep the low fuel light, and obviously the engine code light. So I keep all those lights. I do eliminate the fuel pump relay because those are known to go and they can go at any time, and that'll leave you stranded, so we don't want that. So I've been doing that for a while. I'm not really sure if that shortens the life of the pump. I want to say it may. So I usually do a new pump every year. Over time, pumps can lose the pressure, so you got to change them, but I'd rather not have a relay fail because they do fail, guys. So, and then we eliminate everything for the headlights. So there's no headlight wiring in here. Because these have the extra wires for like the European models, because those have horns and blinkers and all that stuff. They can be plugged in because those guys in Europe can ride these on the streets, which is cool. So he eliminates all of that, and he cleans it up, shrinks it down, and this is what the end result is, which is friggin' awesome. So I wish I had a stock one to show you guys. I don't have one, but this is probably half the thickness of a stock one, which is cool. So let's get this thing on the quad. We're just gonna lay it in there, then we'll get the radiator back on. Alright guys, if you don't know, you know that the ECU is in the back of the quad, so that'll give you a reference point of where to start. So that's the ECU plug, so that's going to go that way, and that's kind of how you work the harness in. So right now we're just going to lay this in, and then we'll straighten it out after. So that just basically lays in there. These wires all go down like this. That's for all the connections for the TPS. The idle speed control valve, that's all the controls for up top, injector, the air sensor, and then this kind of just lays in, it goes under. You guys can see it goes under like that. We do have this factory OEM clip, which we'll clip in after, but then all this stuff, with the exception of these two, this is for the temp sensor and the fan, that stays out. But all these are going to go up in here, like so. So we'll just stick those like that. We can pop this in, we'll tighten it up after because it is a little loose, but once we get everything set, we can tighten that up. And we'll just kind of make a little bend on this. That's gonna kind of get bent in. And that's pretty much it, guys, just like that. So we will zip tie this and make it nice and neat, but let's get back to installing the radiator now. Alright, so just like we did the first time, we're just going to put this in on an angle, get it under our wire harness, and then we can slide it up into the two top mounts, and then it went right in on the bottom. We can put our screws in loosely. Get to the other side, do the same thing, pop our screws in. We'll go ahead and tighten these up. So technically, guys, if I order the exhaust, although I don't want to fire it up just yet, I could technically fire this up if I had the exhaust. I do have an old one, but I want to get these engine mounts all done so this engine is locked in place and doesn't vibrate or anything. So we'll wait. There's no need to rush. We can go ahead, tighten these guys up. It's a 10 millimeter. And then I guess we'll work on, actually let me do one thing first. We'll do the hoses next, but I'm gonna put the little bracket that goes on top of the head. I got one of those, so we'll pop that in. All right, so this is the clip I was talking about right here, shiny new. It'll hold your cables in place. So the first thing we have to do is put this on the cables. Just like that, and then we can bolt it up. Oh, we have to tighten our upper engine mount too. We'll do that after. Get these started by hand. These are just a number 5 little tiny Allen bolt. Shiny new. We got all the new tiny hoses that go to the overflow bottle. We can pop those on. Give this a tighten. Alright, since we're over here, I guess we'll just start with this radiator hose. We got two. These are the Samco Sport. These are like, I want to say these are like 20 bucks. I've ran these ones. These are just the eBay ones versus the CV4s. The CV4s are like 70. I want to say these are like 20 or 30 bucks, and these have been great. I haven't had any issues. So we just run these. It's gonna go like that. So we'll get our clips on there. I got this thing, this new tool, but it doesn't seem to open them up. Like these need to be, see what I'm saying? These need to touch to get it open enough. But these are sweet because they lock in place, guys, which is kind of cool. But it's just not enough. I need it to be more. It needs to be a little more. Actually, yeah, I think it's going. That'll work. Let's give it a little squeeze. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it with the pliers now to get it a little more. Yeah, see the pliers, see how that works a lot better. Alright, slide this guy on the bottom. Bottom first, then the top. And we'll just move our clamps. These are a tight fit, I'll tell you that. And a little more. That's good. We'll tighten this one up. Alright, that one's done. Let's go on the other side and do the other one. Alright, so this one's gonna go in just like that. Let's see how this guy works. I'm gonna give this thing another shot. See if I can get this on here. Yeah, it's definitely enough to go on. That's not bad. Got these at Lowe's, Craftsman. Lowe's has all the Craftsman stuff now. I'm not sure if you guys noticed that. I've always liked the Craftsman tools. They got some nice stuff now. All right, that should be good. Let's see if we can get this on. have to. Yeah, see, they don't squeeze it enough to get it up and over. That's the only bad thing. You gotta use the pliers. Just make sure when you put the clamp on, you are past the end of the hole. You're past the end of the pipe that comes out of the head. That is right there, so we know we got a good clamp on it. And get this one. Oh, this one's being rough. Come on, baby. Alright, so that one's right there. That's good. Those are our hoses. They're a little dusty. We'll clean them up after. Alright, I think now we will, we might as well connect our breather box hoses. We can go ahead and finish those off. Alright guys, I am just going to put a little grease on this thing because these hoses are new. So they're going to be a little bit tough to get on, but they should go on. So our short one is the one that goes to the head. We gotta kind of route these. So this wants to be like that. This wants to be like this, over the cables like that. All right, I'm gonna put a clip on this one. You don't have to, but I'm going to. Try to get this guy on there. There we go. Look at that. That grease definitely helped. Get this clamp. Boom. We'll slide the clamp down. So that's good. So that kind of just rests in the frame rail like that. And then we will go on the other side now and connect the other ones. All right, so first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take this cover off, which is loose, so. And then that hose, the second longest one, that one just is gonna go on there, like that. And then you can put this cover back on. But you know what I like to do with this connector, guys? I actually like to spin it a little bit, so it's pointing a little more horizontally. So we're gonna grab some pliers and just spin that a little bit. Very easy to do that, just like that. It's not gonna come out. All right, now we can pop this guy on, that's a much better look. Boom. So now this cover, I'm gonna have to bring it back just a touch because I'm blocking the bolt a little bit. Right there should be good. Yeah. A little more up. That should be good. Yep, that's good right there. All right, we can tighten this guy down. Alright, we'll get a zip tie after, and we'll get one now. We're just gonna put one on the starter cable. Actually, we're gonna wait. We'll put one there for now. I think like that, and then we can get a clip. Let's get this guy. We can get our vent line. Vent line kind of just goes down like that, and then it kind of slides into this little connector like the old factory one went. You can slide that down. Bring our fan wire through. Alright, so that, like I said, this is just gonna slide down, push it down. tighten that back up, and that's that one. So we can get, I'm gonna get a zip tie and just zip tie those together, and I'll put one here. I'm gonna wait to do that because we're gonna get our little tiny hoses for the overflow bottle. We'll pop those in. Alright, so we got the shorter rubber hose. This actually attaches to the little line by the radiator cap. Ooh, these are tight. No, it's going now, it's going. Get it on there. That's good, we get the little clip on there. Alright. So this kind of goes like that. We'll leave that loose for now, and then you got the other side, it goes right up here. Ooh, it's tight. We're getting it though, we're getting it. Alright, that's on. We'll do a little clip on this one. Alright, we're gonna put a zip tie on that, make it neat. This being an aftermarket fan, you lose the little, the stock fan had little tabs on it to hold this in place, but with the Spall fan it does not have that. But you can fix that with a zip tie. Found it, I found it. You're gonna kind of have to just bend this, bend that and catch it. I'm gonna use my little pick. You don't want this to hit the fan blades, obviously. Get that in there and then try to pull it through. Carefully. Oh, I just had it. Oh, just had it again. I got it, I got it. Oh, I lost it. Oh no, it's still there. There we go, I got you. Zip tie that in place. This hose is like super long. I wonder if I'm supposed to cut it. As I just leave a little extra. It seems really long. Yeah, I'm gonna cut it. The other one's shorter. So I'll leave myself enough on the bottom, which that looks pretty good. Even like that. I'm gonna take the top one off, just so I get this bottom one right. And the sucker's on there. Oh, all right. So I think right there is what we want, just like that. And we will cut this. That's better. Get our clamp in place. All right. Now I'll go on the other side and get that vent line out. All right, so here's our longer line. We're just gonna run this through where it goes. The radiator shroud has a little hook, like a little clamp that holds that. And just slide this on. I'm gonna put a little grease on this one. That thing's tight. Tight, tight, tight. Oh yeah. That's the way to do it, guys. A little bit of grease. And these new hoses, they go right on. All right, let's slide the clamp down. And my fingers are slippery from the damn grease. Come on, get down. There we go. All right, we can plug this back in. Now I am missing, they do have like a little factory clamp that will kind of hold these lines together. I have one on the other quad. I can't seem, I gotta look around, I may have it, but I just can't. Actually, that actually, like that actually works good because that'll hold that line in place. I'm gonna leave it just like that, guys. We do need to do something with this though. So actually I'm gonna put this the other way, and then I'll just order one of those clamps. I'll have to show you guys after. I'm sure if you have a Yamaha, you know what I'm talking about. A little black clamp, it clamps onto the smaller line, and then you can hook it onto the larger line. It keeps it all together. But I will throw a zip tie on that starter wire. Yeah, so that's not, I mean, that's not horrible. You just don't want this floating around and hitting the header. That's the big thing. So we're gonna put one zip tie on the starter wire. Keep that over here. I did that on the other quad too. Just loose it. Don't, make sure it's not too tight and pinching the line. And then we'll go find, not today, but we'll have to order one. We'll get one of those clamps and we can clamp. Actually, maybe I'll just throw another zip tie. I'm sure I'll be fine. Right around all three of these. I will get that clamp, but I don't have it right now, so we'll do this for now. So everything is neat. That's pretty good. Alright, I like that. So this hose, they also give you a ton of extra. Look at this thing, guys. So this basically just loops, you got this little bracket right here coming off the rectifier. So this basically just loops in and out of that. Like that, and then we're gonna cut this one too. Have extra hose, that's always a good thing. I probably could have just bought this one. Actually, you know something? I think you're supposed to just cut this for both pieces. I think that other hose I used was for the water pump line, but I always remove those. Maybe it wasn't, I'm not sure, but I think maybe just trim them all. So I'll just trim that like that, that's fine. We got extra hose. All right, that's looking good. All right, I think we will start on some of the wiring next. All right, guys, and if you can see, so we're gonna just, for now, just slide our start button over. And we'll do the tether. Like that, and then we can get our tether in place. Look at that fit. Isn't that great? Oh shit. I dropped one of the bolts. I'm just gonna slide this way, like that. See if I can find that bolt. Oh, I got it. Such a great spot for this thing, guys. That's why I put it here. I know it sucks you gotta cut the bar clamp, but This thing is nice and hidden right there, out of the way. Easy to pull, easy to get to. Alright, we'll tighten this guy up. That's good. Alright, we might as well get our clutch cable and our grips, and we can kind of see where that is going to lay out. Alright guys, we've got our ODI Rogue 120mm long grips. I love these things. Great grip. Bolt on, which is nice. Lock on. We will not be using the end cap because we're going to use wraps with the power mounted hand guards. Well, this is pretty basic. Just slide it on until it lines up with the end. And we'll snug these for now. We're going to go back and tighten them once we get all our controls in place. But we're just looking to get our location for the start button, which is basically right against that. And we will get our clutch lever. So we'll give this, we're not going to tighten this all the way. We're just going to snug it just so it don't move. That's our start button. Then we'll grab the clutch lever. Alright, we got our clutch lever, ASV. I believe this is the F3. Been running these for a while. I pretty much run these on all the quads. I run the normal length lever, not the shorty. I don't really like the shorty too much. Actually looks pretty close to the other one. We won't tighten this there, we'll just snug it up. We're gonna have to move all this stuff and adjust it, but we can get our cable in. You guys can see that. We'll go ahead and put the cable in. We need our adapter. With the ASV lever, guys, you absolutely have to have this little adapter. It's just a spacer. It adds more tension on the cable. You have to run it, otherwise you won't get the correct free play. Alright, so that's this guy. And then shove that in there, like that. Oh shit. Gotta put this on first. Now we can do it. These almost look like a lighter blue too than the other ones I have. It's kind of weird. Now we don't have any clutching yet, so this is not going to have any tension or anything on it, so we just have to kind of just throw it in there and we'll deal with that after. Just lock that in place so that it doesn't fall out. That's our clutch lever. Before we do that, we gotta pop on our dust cover. It's a pretty cool feature on these things. 2 Phillips head screws, one on top, one on the bottom. Alright, now we'll go to the other side. Alright, so we will start with our throttle lever. I wasn't able to get a new one, I still may. We're just going to throw this one on for now. Just another piece that's been hard to find lately. We can snug this up. I'll keep an eye out on eBay or something. Usually I get a new one every year, but I haven't been able to find one. That's fine, we can throw our grip on. We'll give this just a snug, won't tighten it all the way. We do not have our master cylinder yet, that's at the Hannah's Hunters Hurricane Blastings, getting cleaned. I should have those early next week. She messaged me yesterday saying they're all clean. She's gonna ship them one day, so we should see those soon. All right, we can put our throttle cable in here. That'll give us a chance to test how our pull is. Oh, that's awfully tight. Now we'll see, I do have the spring for up here. We'll see how the lightened spring feels. If it's too light, we will put that in. If it's just right, we'll leave it out. So, custom thumb lever. This is from the black bike. I took that off of it. The only thing I took off of that, as well as my number plate. Tighten that up. That's just an 8mm. Make sure it's locked in. Oh, I think I put this in backwards. Yes, I did. Gotta go the other way. Whoops. that. That's how we do it. Nope. That's better. Now we will tighten it up again. Second time is always a charm. Holy crap, that is so light. So freaking light. I'm gonna leave it out for now, but I may have to put that other spring in. Feels good though, I'll tell you that. Super light, guys, super light. Alright, so we'll just throw the cap on here. Just so nothing gets in here. We will come back to this, set it up, dial it in. Once we get our master cylinder, we still have to put our hand guards on here. I need to order brackets for those. I don't have those yet. I do have the hand guards, I just don't have the brackets. I need to get the wraps and the brackets. So it's starting to look more and more like a quad. Alright, now I think we will mess around with some of the connections for the harness in the front of the machine. Alright, we'll start with our new key switch. I can pop that in. I can see how it goes. So it goes like this. There's a little notch. You can see there's that little notch right there, aligns in with the dash. And just tighten that up. Give a little turn with the old wrenchy wrench. That's good. We can pop the key in there so we don't lose it. Nice. Alright, now we need to work our tether switch wires down. We can grab those under here. We have that right there. We'll zip tie these together nice once we get everything connected. We got our start button. Gotta get that down there. These are all plug and play from Jimmy Bortz, which is sweet. Alright, so we'll start with the rectifier. So I like to put a little bit of dielectric grease in all the connections. Just helps keep the dirt out. Helps for corrosion, stuff like that. Fill these all up a little bit. Good stuff. Get it in there, you know. And you can plug this guy in. Alright, we have the fan relay. That's just gonna get hooked onto this little bracket for it. That's always where it goes. And that's that. Alright, now we got the rest of our plugs. We have our dash. We'll fill these all up quick. Alright, now these you really can't screw up. They're all pretty much matched up color wise, size wise. We have our dash right there. Make sure you hear everyone click when you put them in. We have our start button, our key switch right here. Hear the click, guys, hopefully you can hear that. And then we have the start button. Oh, that's a tether, so that's our tether. This is our start button. And everything's clicked in. Make sure they're not pulling out. And that's the front end electrical. So we'll do zip ties later. Once I still gotta get the brake line in here. But let's go around to the side and we'll work on these side connections. All right, we'll do our temp sensor and our fan connections. Got these two plugged in. Make sure I got the correct plug. I told them 2014. Yep, that's the right one. Oh, a little too much in that one. Scrape it off. Alright, so this guy is going to go over here. And this one is going to go on that. I think we'll throw a zip tie on that and make it look nice. So that's that. We will, I think we can lock this down. That's pretty much where it's going to go. That's good. All right, now we'll move to the throttle body area. All right, so we got to get some zip ties on this. Hold it in place. One. There's two, that's good. Well, so I'm gonna get one around this bracket. I just like to put one around here. Keep this thing down. Once this thing kind of warms up, it'll start bending. It'll hold its shape. You can use a heat gun too. Just the way this insulation is on here, it's just a little stiffer than the other stuff, like the rubber coating, but as it sits for a little while, it will take shape, which is fine. We can kind of bend it like I am. All right, so that's for the air box. We can do these. Get this guy. That's for our coil. I like to put zip ties in that, just to hold these in like this. Another one over here. Alright, we'll grease the connectors up and plug them in. Start with this one, the pressure. I believe this is like the air pressure sensor. This is that sensor that plugs into the line on the throttle body. This is for our fuel pump, which obviously we don't need that just yet, but we'll get it ready. Get some stuff in there. We have our injector. Pop that in. It's gonna go way down in here. shit, it's not gonna pull out. I'll put a little bit of stuff in these. For the coil. Alright, so that we don't have to worry about just yet. That looks pretty good as far as alignment goes. Give these a trim. This will go on after. Alright, we'll go down by the lower connections on the throttle body. Alright, we'll grease these guys up. This is the stator connection, and then the crank sensor connections. You got your neutral wire connection, that's this little guy. So we'll do that one first, I guess. So these all go on the inside. Keep that in mind. Try to make these as neat as possible. We'll zip tie them together after. Alright, then we have R2 for the throttle body. One's for the TPS and one's for the idle speed control valve. Alright, so this one is for the idle speed control valve. Plug that guy in from the back. And then this is the TPS. Here the click. Now we will try to neaten this up. Get some zip ties in here. Like put one over here. Kind of take up the slack in the neutral wire and just tie those together like that. And we'll put a zip tie on the inside. Actually, I'm gonna wait for that until I need this little bracket here, and then we're gonna take this off once we get the rear shock. So I'm not gonna mess with anything else yet as far as this stuff goes. So we'll leave this stuff as it is for now, but that's a good majority of the harness. Once we get the rear shock, we can continue on. We'll be good to go. Alright guys, we're gonna wrap this up. We are just going to put our Tusk hour meter on. I like to pop this thing right there. Kind of hidden, but you can still see it. I just use some double-sided tape. So you just loop the wire they give you, you loop it in and plug it in right there. So we'll get this guy in place. Put the wire down. I'd like to get one of these for the practice quad as well before I ride it. So I'll probably order one of these. I got a couple things I need to order, so I'll probably get everything I need. Another batch of parts, as usual, it never ends. So just like that. I may have to get some thicker tape, but that's pretty much the gist of it, like that. That's actually pretty good. Alright, we will show you how to tie this into the spark plug. Alright guys, so with the wire, you're just going to wrap this around. It says 5 to 10 times, so we'll wrap it around, right around that many times. Then we'll tape it. It says you can use a zip tie, I prefer the tape. Just tape right over it. And once we get it running, we can set it for the revolutions, the RPMs. You will have to make an adjustment. Yeah, that's crappy. I'm gonna have to get a piece of tape ready first. All right, let's try this again. That's a little better. Get a little more tape on there. I'm going to put a zip tie just around this too. Maybe that'll help. So it doesn't loosen up. I'm going to put one on the end too, just for extra security. We will clean this up later on. We'll zip tie that once we get everything else done. We still need to run the brake line up front, but that'll be for another day. All right, guys, that's going to be it for part 4. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I know, I'm sorry, it's kind of like the boring stuff now. A lot of the little tedious, miscellaneous things, but once we get a few more parts for the rear end, we can get that together, which will be sweet. Then it'll really start come together. Well, I think we did a good amount for today, guys, so let me know what you think. As always, appreciate the comments. If you're not yet, consider subscribing. Please thumbs up this video, that helps me out a ton. And that's pretty much a wrap for today, guys. We will see you on the next one. All right, peace.